Hi folks, welcome to MTS. Today we have the Conrail limited production set from 1987. This set was in the 1987 catalog, and I believe this was the first year Lionel Trains Inc. was headed up by Richard Kughn. I was cleaning out underneath the layout, and I had purchased this about December 2023. I'll insert that copy of the receipt here. I got it for a little over $150 after taxes, shipping, and everything else. The story on this one is that it was an incomplete set. So as you can see, it has the Conrail reefer car. It's got the Conrail box car. We have a gondola with a simulated coal load. I got a two bin ACF hopper, and then the locomotive. Now, also includes a flat car and like a square body style caboose, which I wasn't really a fan of the caboose anyway, so this worked out. And I just so happened to already have the flat car with the pipe load here. Number on this is 17501. So there's most of the set, and then I was able to acquire a Conrail bay window caboose. So I really like the look of this caboose a lot more. I'd bought it used. It's missing the rooftop funnels, but other than that, it actually works really well. When I got it, I had to reinstall the light bulb in it, but the smoke unit works fine in it and everything else. Number on that is 6-17642. So there you go. So I was able to basically put together the whole set. If I remember correctly, the locomotive has some issues, so that's what we're going to work on today, and then we'll put the whole set on the layout and run it a few laps. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get the locomotive out of the box and just see what we got here. So the Conrail SD-40 diesel. Number on this is 6-18200. Growing up as a kid, Conrail, along with like Chessie System, those were household names. Conrail was more southern Indiana, and then Chessie System, the old L&N, were more localized. And as you can see, it looks like this one's been used. It's a little dirty. A lot of dust. Yeah, it's... What is that? It's actually got a piece of grass. Oh, it does have the instructions with it, though. So missing a horn, and the handrails are in disarray. Oh, big time. Look at that. It's all twisted up back here. We're going to take this over to the workbench, take it apart, see what we got, just go through it, just general maintenance. We'll go ahead and go through the motor, just make sure everything's good. I believe this is dual motor, so a lot of pulling power. Okay, got you back over with me over here at the workbench. I think what I'm going to do is actually remove the shell. That dust is pretty thick, and it's especially inside of these. I'm going to take this up to the upstairs sink, but what I'm thinking is we'll just get this into the sink, get a toothbrush with some Dawn power wash, and just go through that, clean it up really good. I'll get the compressed air, and we'll go from there. I'm also going to see if I've got a horn assembly somewhere. I think I do. I'll have to check the parts bin for that. But then, I mean, first and foremost, right, we need to make sure we got a working unit, and then we'll go from there. So what I'm doing right now is just kind of going around, and before I even start taking it apart, just going through, and we're going to see if we can get some of these guardrails just straightened up. This side actually looks pretty good. You're missing some paint along the guardrail here. That's not that big of a deal. And then this guy here, he's really twisted up. Zoom in here. So what we're going to do is just see if we can't just kind of force it around. The good thing is they didn't have, it looks like they had some kind of a plastic style chain that went in the back here. I'm just going to use the resistance of the shell to get that in place. Get some, again, some paint's coming off. That's to be expected though. I mean, this model's pretty old. Okay, there we go. Let's go ahead and get it apart. I know it's got the 2 screws on each end. Oh, let me zoom it back out here. There we go. So yeah, we have a screw right down here. On the back of the locomotive, we have one on the front. And then I believe, so when you flip this over, so there's these little, the Phillips head screws that have a bracket that kind of holds the chassis in place. And it's just these 2. And then the rest of the screws on the bottom here actually are just holding these guardrails in place. Again, we're going to start with the front one here. Now these there's these little brass grommets that just that one just fell out. So just want to be careful, mindful of those. Any other hidden screws that we're not thinking of? Let's see if that allows us access here. Got something happen. Again, we don't want to force it. It looks like though I'm going to need to take off the 2 white guardrails on each end. Which again, I was planning on removing those anyway. There we go. Same with the back. Okay. It looks like those are universal, so the front and the back can interchange. All right, let's see if we can get that off there now. There we go. Okay. Looks like we're missing a front headlight. Let's get the light assembly out of the back here. Try to do this without breaking the plastic piece. There we go. Oh, there's the light bulb. I just found it. It looks like it does have it's got that old style speaker horn assembly. There is a speaker inside the fuel tank there. And this is the soundboard. So this is the one that has that really annoying that it does. But other than that, it's looking really clean. We're going to spin the armature. Oh yeah, armature spins smoothly. And I do feel the wheels turning underneath it. Well, it did spin smoothly. What happened there? Just checking underneath. See if there's anything that just bound up, because it was spinning smoothly for a second and then it quit. Yeah, we're getting to one point right here and I'm getting a lot of resistance. I'm going to go backwards as we're turning it just to see if we can see anything over on the gear set. See anything yet? No? Okay, we'll just keep on spinning backwards. We go to the back. We're going to do the same thing, just kind of spin through here. If I come up with any issues, I'll jump back in here. So the back motor, no issue at all. I was able to spin full rotation on one of the wheels. However, the front is still having that issue. And get right about here, and it's binding up for some reason. So on the front, we're going to have to go through, remove the armature cover, armature plate. We'll remove that, then we'll pull the armature and see if there's something that's binding inside of the truck assembly. Take these two screws out of the top to remove the armature assembly. I think that's called an armature plate. I'll have to reference the old Greenberg repair manual just to make sure I'm using the right terminology. Okay, here's our brushes. Again, the brushes look really good. It doesn't look like this has had a lot of use. Okay. Oh, we're gonna need to go through that anyway. Look at that. Golly, it's caked. Got some really old grease on there. Oh, I think I see our issue. Move that out of the way and see if you guys can see down in there. And we're looking at this little piece right here. Look at there. What does that even go to? Oh, okay. I see what it is. So it goes to the gas tank. So if you look here, there's one right here, and then this one looks like it's broken. I've got, yeah, because I've got, so it's like, I think they call that a speed nut. The speed nut's broken off of where that goes, but I don't understand how in the world that got inside the gear assembly. Spinning freely now. But again, we're going to go through, we're going to put some new grease in there. Good thing is that feels, yeah, this is a brass worm gear in here, and it's not that plastic one, so that's a good one. Okay. Well, good. Figured that out. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and just kind of guess, a little guesstimate. I'm going to say this got damaged in shipping more than likely, or storage. Again, as old as it is, 1987. It was probably put away, moved around, something along that line. That just ended up in there. I don't think it was ever run with that piece inside of there. So what I'll probably end up doing is just getting some super glue, because this is really not doing anything anyway, and we'll just secure that back there just to where it stays in place, right? Okay, so next up we're just going to take, I'm just going to use my dental pick here. We're going to get all this old grease out of here, and I'm just going to put some new grease in it. So just taking this, kind of going along the worm gear. There we go. It comes out like mud. I just got my paper towel here, so I'm just transferring the grease to the paper towel. Continue to move and get this all cleaned out. These guardrails taken off, so again, we're just going to take these screws out.
Got 3 screws remaining.
And the last one. There we go. And now we'll just remove the handrails, but we want to kind of be careful because there's a pretty long piece that actually goes into the cab. And we don't want to scratch the paint. Go ahead and remove these on the front. You can see there's a little tab right there. Oh, you know what? There are 2 hidden screws right here in the front.
Got that one. And we'll go ahead and remove this one.
There we go. Now that should remove that. There we go. Perfect. All right, there we go. We'll do a little before action here. See all the dust and dirt inside the fans and along the catwalks on each side here. Walkways. A little before and action, or before and after. There we go. Okay, so we're on location at the kitchen sink. So all I'm going to do is I've already got some sudsy water, and it's just basic palm olive dish soap, and I'm just going to take a old toothbrush, and we're just going to kind of work through it. And then after this, I'll dry it off a little bit, and then we're going to take it outside to the air compressor and just clean it off the rest of the way there. But this is all there is to it. And the toothbrush is nothing more. It's just a soft bristle brush. Because the sides really aren't that bad. A little dusty, but that's about it. Make sure we got plenty of suds. Well, without any kind of harsh chemicals or anything, we don't have to worry about taking the markings off or anything like that. Get some compressed air, dry it all off really good. This should make a pretty big difference in what it looked like before versus now. Okay, so here's the after. See that the walkway's got all nice and clean, got the back cleaned off. Walkways here as well. There's the front of the unit. Got all that nice and clean. Look there. Even got in there, got a little bit of residue still inside the fan area, but I'm pleased with that, how it turned out. Okay, so here we are back with all the handrails back on, except for the 2 on the front, but no, it looks pretty good. Be sure to replace the 2 screws in the front as well. One right there, and one over here. So yeah, good as new. Okay, so now we're going to take our dental pick. Yeah, there's still some residue in there, so we'll get all that out of there real good. I think the degreaser definitely helped it a little bit more pliable. Yeah, you can still see it's still crusty coming off of there though. See there? Next we're going to put on the safety glasses, and I'll get my wire wheel out. I'm just going to kind of go around this one more time. So next up, I'm just going to use some of this post-war Lionel grease, and I'm actually out of my red and tacky right now, so I figured this worked back in the day, it should work nowadays, right? So we'll get this nice healthy amount of grease on both worm gears, and then I'm going to actually use this Label 106 for the gears on the outside of the truck frame. So next we're just going to clean up the brush plate a little bit using the Deoxit electronic cleaner. And we'll do the same where the brushes mount as well. I'll stick that back down in there. There we go. Make sure everything lines up. There we go. But was able to remedy that pretty quickly. Want to make sure you put our grounding tab back in place. Okay, and then next we got to put our brushes back in. And we'll just take a little bit of electronic contact cleaner on a paper towel. We'll just get the brushes in there. Clean both ends of them and around them as well. Same as the other one. Both ends and around. And there we go. We'll put our springs back in place. And I'm just going to use my needle nose and just press that little brass tab down just to secure it in place. Do the same procedure with the other spring. Okay, next I'm just going to take some of this white grease with a toothpick. We'll just get that down in here against one of the drive wheels or gears, drive gears. I'm just going to kind of pack that down in there with the toothpick. Wow, I definitely can tell a difference in the way that this is moving freely now. Pack that in place. Okay. Do the same thing with the rear motor. Just go through it. The rear motor, we'll go through it, clean that up really well. We'll go ahead and get that, take the top plate off. We'll get that grease cleaned out, re-grease it, and then we'll be ready for reassembly. And then we can get it back over to the layout, run it with the full set. All right, folks. So I've gone through the unit. Went ahead and went through the rear truck. I greased all of the axles. Oiled the axles, greased where necessary. Did that with the front as well. I even super glued that one piece on the gas tank, just to, not that it's doing anything, at least it just keeps it there, right? Let's go ahead and do a bench test, and then I'll put the shell back on. We'll get it over to the layout and run the whole set. Ground it right there. Make sure our lights are here so we can see those. Make sure they're working like they're supposed to. There we go. Oh yeah, horn. And I got the light bulbs working, front and back. Good there. Neutral, forward, That's perfect. Then lights are working. All right. That's good enough for me. I'm going to go ahead and put the shell back on it, and we'll get over to the layout and run a few laps. Looking forward to this. This has been in the box for almost 2 years, so since I've gotten it. No telling how long it sat in the box before that. Oh, one other thing. As you know, the horn was missing, and I had a horn, but it's not the right size, so I'll have to get one of those. Get everything put back together. We'll see you in a little bit. All right, so we're back at the layout. Got the engine back together. It looks amazing. It really turned out well. Very pleased with how it cleaned up really nice. Only thing, like I say, only thing I'm missing is the little chrome horn that goes on the top of it. So I'll be on the lookout for one of those. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing running. Wow, one thing I'm noticing already is it's just so smooth. I'm only pulling 9 volts, and with those 2 motors, it's just making it look easy. That's awesome. Well, there you have it, folks. Another successful revival, and from the early Richard Kughn era. I can't get over how smooth this train is running at such a low voltage. To recap, we just did some general maintenance and cleaned it up a little bit. Really excited to have this set in my collection. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you down the line.